WebStar Enterprises is a veteran owned and operated publisher of quality, well designed products for the tabletop gamer and their game table. Chief Executive Officer of WebStar Enterprises is Michael S. Webster. Born and raised in the Salt Lake Valley of Utah, graduating from Alta High School in 1986, he then joined the United States Air Force as a combat weather specialist, serving in Illinois, Montana, and then the West Germany. Throughout his Air Force career, he continued to game and encourage others to take up the hobby. While stationed at Gilberstadt Army Airfield, Germany, he would spend his weekends hanging out at the base recreation center with his AD&D books scattered on. His interest in encouraging tabletop gaming as a hobby while attending the University of Utah, he and his lifelong friend Mark Anderson formed the Intermountain Matrix of gaming and role playing enthusiasts. Tim Oger would maintain a database of gamers and would act as a matchmaking service for people who were looking to start games. There's also a periodical newsletter which published articles for various games and carried advertisements for local game stores and gaming events. Mr. Webster started gaming in 1982 with Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Throughout the years, he played many other tabletop games, including Battletech, DC Heroes, Doctor Who, Star Trek, Twilight 2000, and more. Not just a player, Mr. Webster also became a game master, running games for his friends, and also created his first role playing game in 1983. Over the past 3 decades, Mr. Webster has produced materials for other games, including adventures for the RPGA's Living Greyhawk and Living Force shared campaigns, and online Wizards of the Coast magazine, and Sandy Peterson's Cthulhu Mythos. The culture war being waged across the width and breadth has spilled over into this hobby. Ideological battles are being waged over the tabletop. In the 80s and 90s, the biggest arguments were about DC over Marvel or whether or not D&D was satanic. Anyone and everyone was welcome to sit at our table and play. Having been a participant in the tabletop hobby, we are entering the field not as a referee or judge, but as a coach or cheerleader. We don't tell gamers how to play or how to run their tables. We are not in the business to judge anyone. We don't care what the color of your dice in your dice bag. We just care if you brought dice. If not, I'm sure we can find some you could borrow. These are the products we will present to accomplish our goals. The Onomasticon of Obscenities, a Lovecraftian dictionary which features words that H.P. Lovecraft and his contemporaries, including, but not limited to, Robert E. Howard, Clark Ashton Smith, Robert W. Chambers, August Derleth, and Arthur Machen. These words are described using a copy of the 1915 Webster's New International Dictionary rather than a more modern edition. Shadow over Salt Lake, written for the 7th edition rule set of the Call of Cthulhu role playing game, published by Chaosium Incorporated. This multi session adventure will look at the paranormal aspects of the state of Utah, as well as the plot to awaken a great old one submerged in the Great Salt Lake. A version for Sandy Peterson's Cthulhu Mythos for 5e will also be produced. Project Lovecraft, originally developed for the 1991 Kubla Khan Gaming Convention in Salt Lake City, Utah, titled Cthulhu and You in '92. It centered on an FBI investigation of possible Cthulhu cult involvement in the 1992 presidential election. This group was from a division of the FBI called Project Lovecraft. Note, this was approximately 2 years before the X Files premiered. Project Lovecraft will be updated to the 7th edition Call of Cthulhu rules. Whispers Out of Aldebaran. Originally created as a movie poster project for a graphic communications course, this will be an adventure for the 7th edition Call of Cthulhu rules, in which the player characters from the local community college will go looking for a meteorite impact but find sanity breaking horror. A secret project, codenamed dot 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 dash, for future development and release. It is a role playing game based on a classic franchise and using an original rule set. We're hoping to get the franchise right soon. Matrix Newsletter. As stated previously, this project originated in the 90s. The original newsletters will be updated and a new quarterly online magazine will be developed primarily as a marketing device, but also as outreach for our customers. At WebStar Enterprises, our vision is to inspire imagination in everyone who then creates new, glorious universes at their game tables. We're not woke. We won't go broke.